Alright, on today's episode, we'll be working on wiring. So, this is my standalone ECU wiring. And the harness goes from behind the dash, comes around, this is it, and the loom. And then comes down here, and then comes right here. This is the whole harness right here. And then it splices, soldered to look at this, like this is injectors right here. We got 2 powers, and then this is batch fire, so 2 cylinders fire at the same time. So I have 1 and 4 and 2 and 3, and these go to the injectors. So you got your power and then your injector signal from the ECU. And this is a solder that I did a while ago when I was doing this wiring, so I'm just trying to get away from this. And you can see the nastiness, like the butt connectors. It's kind of a mess here, the solder. So when you're soldering, it's cool, yeah, whatever, but it gets the wire so brittle, it's so hard. And when we went to the dyno, one of the wires broke off the ignition coil. The solder just broke. And the other thing I'm trying to do here is like updating the wire, like this right here. This is OEM wire, so I'm trying to update the wires because, you know, they're broken everywhere. If you got a Mark III, Mark II, all these old cars, 90s cars, their wiring looks just, they're all just trash. They need an update. Like this is my injector wiring. Look at that. Like, they're just broken wires. This is everywhere. Yeah, right there. I think I just showed that one. Broken wires everywhere. So I'm trying to snip this like right here and do a plug to the injectors, a plug to all the sensors. So this is how simple this ECU is, or at least the standalone. You got your injector wires, the rest. This is your, if you know by the plug, you know this is your crank position sensor wire, and then the rest is just sensors. Sensors. You got your coil right here, your coil, map sensor, coolant temp sensor, TPS. There should be another one somewhere. AIT, intake air temperature, and then like additional sensors that you can add on, like your fuel pressure sensor. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this sender and add one of these pressure sensors for oil. That way I can log oil pressure on my ECU. I have a flex fuel sensor right here to read E85 content, but this car has been strictly on E85, so I'm just gonna get rid of this and just use that, the output or input, for the oil instead. And that's it. So I just want to get rid of all this nonsense, this wiring that looks like crap, all the solder and butt connectors and everything. Just trying to get rid of it and make it simpler or better. So I have gone ahead and purchased a whole bunch of wires here, all kinds of colors. I got, these are cheap Deutsch connectors. These are cheap Deutsch connectors right here. I gotta pin them. They came with these pins, but they're, you know, eBay stuff. But I did buy legit pins, like good quality pins, where the difference is these you have to crimp. Well, you have to crimp, but this is a different style of crimp. I'll show you here in a minute. And then these right here are butt splices. Instead of using butt connectors, these are splices. U-splice, I believe that's what they're called. You just crimp it. I think I have an example somewhere. But anyway, I bought those. I got the Volkswagen style connectors. Like the pins themselves, I should have Right here, like these. If you're a Volkswagen guy, you know these. I got the seals to go with them, and then I got some loom to wrap the wire in, and then heat shrink tubing. And then I bought these ones. I mean, I could have just went to O'Reilly's or AutoZone and grabbed whatever. These ones have a glue coating inside. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but it's got glue in it, so holds the wire together better than just your regular heat shrink. And these right here, this was my test piece right here for the U-splice connector. These guys, so just like how they do it in just like how OEM does it, you splice it like that instead of using a big ass butt connector, and then you slide a heat shrink on it, and then you're good. And then I'll show you an example of the Deutsch connectors. Well, I'm pretty sure most people have seen the Deutsch connectors, but man, I don't even have a light. I'll grab this one. So, I've been working on my staging brake. Come on. So, I've been working on my staging brake. Instead of having the switch that I used to have here to pull it up and activate this, it's going to be just like a brake switch. You know, you pull this, it activates, send a signal, and then it activates the launch control. So there's that. And then the staging brake's not done yet. Still got the brake line that I gotta run towards the back and all that stuff. And then I made this little heel plate right here. And then this is a Deutsch connector right here. So I'm like this. Just unplug it real quick. You know, it's like I do like a sub harness with a loom to that. So this connects to launch control. So I want to do my whole harness to look like this. You know, looks pretty good to me. So that's the goal. Alright, there you are. I'll show you how I did this. Again, I showed you the terminals. Like this. So and then this is the crimper for these wires. So grab one. So this terminal has like a little, I don't know if you can see the pinhole on it. So you can make sure that your wire goes through all the way. Shove that in there. And then look through the pinhole, make sure the wires past it. Usually you're going for a length like that. At least that's what I think. Go through that. And then with a tool, shove it in there. Oh yeah, it's ratcheted too. Push it in all the way, push the wire, and then make it crimp. There's your crimp right there. I ain't going nowhere. The cool thing about this tool, it's got like the 1 through 7. That's how hard you can crimp this. Like 7 is the hardest. You can like crimp it really hard. Or I think it's the other way around. 7 is barely crimping, and then 1 is crimping it, you know, giving it the sauce. A little bit too small, maybe. Maybe I should have done this first. the sleeve, and then crimp. Let's see. This is why I need the heat shrink right there, because it frays so bad. Alright. 4 right there. And then I'll do 1-2 power, 3-4 injector. And then this is 1. You just slide it in until you hear it click. And it clicked. So that's 1. And then 2. You're just looking on this side too. You see how the wire comes out? And then 3, I'll do number 3, I'll do cylinder 1 and 4. I'll reference the harness that I just cut. And 1 and 4 is green. 1 and 4 is green. So green will be 3, which is here. You just push it in all the way. Let's see, until it pops right there. You'll hear it click. And then 4, same style or same thing. Boom, boom, right there, like that plug. And then this is a wedge. And this is supposed to push in all the way. There we go. Boom. And there you go. You got your injector plug. So see how that's all frayed, all nasty. If I just pull this up just like that, boom. Heat shrink that. Look at that. Looks a whole lot better than this shit. Alright, I'll go ahead and do the rest, because wiring, maybe I'll put it on a, what is it called? Time lapse. Because obviously wiring sucks. Nobody really likes to watch this, and it's kind of boring. So alright, we went from all those wires to just 3 freaking plugs. Look at that. And then the crank position sensor. So down here I have a neck. The other thing that I bought was this D-pinning kit. Because I would like to redo this harness. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I try to put it on a time lapse. Okay, first I gotta figure out what I'm doing, or the length of these, or I think I'll start with this. The easiest is injector connectors. So I'll grab, I think this is it. So we slide this Johnny right here in the front, push it in all the way, kind of wiggle it. Yeah, I'm okay. Yep, and then it comes off just like that. Yes, I'm okay. Same thing, push it in, pops right out. And then you can reuse your connector. So one thing to note is which one's positive and which one's injector signal. So if I do injector, this is 1 and 4, red is power. So to me it looks like if you're looking at this little wire, let's go with that as a reference. The right side, that's the power wire, and then we go to injector 1. Boom, pushed in. It's locked in. And so that's power. And then this is signal. And it just clicked right in. Boom. It's an injector harness right there. So I'll do what I've been doing, and like I said, never done this type of wiring. Obviously there's a lot more. There's more sophisticated wiring out there, using like the, you know, DR25 expensive stuff, but I don't need that right now. Plus I'm dealing with a basic ECU, nothing fancy. So I just want the basic to work. I just want it to look better, and when I'm troubleshooting, make life easy. If I do that, I'll put a heat shrink right there. Looks good to me. So I was trying, this kit right here comes with a few types of splices. The first one's the one you saw me do, the U splice. Two wires to one, because I'm gonna have to do 2 powers to 1 and 2 injectors to 1. So there's this style, and then there's this. I kind of like this one. It's a little bit more work, but they're both equally strong. This is exactly what OEM does actually. Instead of using butt connectors, this is what I was trying to avoid, using butt connectors and like this. Look at this. Like, who did this? I mean, it's me, but what the hell? So, see, small, put a heat shrink on it, perfect. I kind of like this one instead of, because I'll show you what it looks like. It's one of these. It's long, you know, you have 2 on this side and then 1 on this side, versus if I use a U-type, well, this is a bigger one. I don't have a crimper this size, but the smaller one like this, you have all 3 wires crammed in one space. I kind of prefer the other one, so that's what I'm gonna end up doing. I'm gonna use the long splice, and then once I'm done, we'll get back to it. It's just time consuming. That's it. So there it is. I got the injector harness, sub harness done. We'll see how this loom handles heat. That's my only concern, but I think it should be fine. So Took me a while. It's time consuming. So, and I plugged it in, made sure it works. Matter of fact, let's make sure it works. No, it doesn't work until the car is done. But let's bring that light over here. So remember, this was injector, sensors, and then ignition coil. So this is for injector. So I try to color match it too. See, like the blue, green, and then 2 reds in the back. That's just for power. And then click, and then this will go to the injectors. Gotta make one that goes to the ignition coil, and then another one that goes to all the sensors. So just gotta keep chugging away. It's done. This shit's time consuming. It's crazy. So I got my ignition coil harness right there, and then this is injectors, and then this is all the sensors. That's map sensor, TPS, coolant, intake air temperature, and then I added 2 here that I'm gonna finish later because I don't have oil pressure and fuel pressure. The fuel pressure, I just have to rewire. This wire's gotta go like back down and all that, and then this one I don't have an oil pressure sensor yet, so that's why I left it blank. So 2 that are not complete, and then the rest is complete. So based off of what I showed you, what I started with, see, table's all a mess now, all a mess. But yeah, I started with this stuff right here. This was a injector harness right here. Terrible. And then this was all like the sensor harness right here. See, just butt connectors. That's what I was trying to get rid of. Butt connectors that make shit a little bit you know, easy to connect and disconnect. So I kind of accomplished what I wanted, so I'm happy with that. And then on the engine bay side of things, you already saw what I did. But on the engine bay side of things, oh, just 3 plugs, all condensed down to 3 plugs right here. So yeah, I gotta do my fuel pressure sensor, and like I said, I'm gonna get rid of this oil sender and put another sensor just like that on there so I can log oil pressure. And then these wires right here that you see coming from the bottom, these are for the fuel pressure sensor. So I just gotta put a plug on this, and then it gets plugged to this guy and this right here. I have it figured out in my head though I'm gonna do it, so I'm gonna figure that out. But for the most part, the wiring is almost done. And then what's up? You're gonna do this unboxing with me? So I just got my new intercooler from CX Racing. It's a little bit bigger than the other one. Looks like we got a visitor over here. Say hi, Jazz. Yeah. Alright, we'll go ahead and open this. And then we'll compare the size versus the old one. Definitely a lot bigger than the old one. CX Racing, obviously CX Racing's all eBay stuff, so it's not legit. But it's I don't know if you can see in there, but it's a bar and plate. The old one was what's the tube and fin. This is bar and plate. This one's supposed to be a lot more efficient than the old one. So yeah, I'm okay. So I'll put it here, and then I'll compare the size with the old one. I'll help you. This is the old one. Yes, I'm okay. You can tell the old one was longer. Let's look right there. It's longer, but maybe an inch core. But oh, this one's taller. So I guess that could compensate for this, but this is obviously what, about 2.5 inches taller than this one. So yeah. So I also kind of want to see how it fits. According to my measurement, it should fit in there no problem. So it should fit no problem. Alright, let's move the camera. Let's move the camera over here and aim it that way. So that's gonna be a tight fit. A tight fit. I think I'm gonna shave these nubs off, or the ones in the bottom, and then it'll fit in there perfectly. Because I measured it right there. I just gotta cut this off. I didn't measure for these little, what are they called? Mounting tabs. I didn't account for that. So overall, it fits pretty good in my opinion. I just gotta do some modifications. But maybe I just need to. Can I lift this up? That's the thing with these rabbits. It's just a piece of sheet metal. And I don't know if I ever said in one of the videos, but my plan at the end was to cut this section top off and do like a tube front end. Not front end, but just like a tube top. See if I can fit this in. So what are we hitting? Yeah, I'm okay. Something like that. That'll work.
1, 2, 3.
That will work.
7, 8, 9.
But I think we still need gotta modify the thing to get it to fit the way I want it to.
5,
So
7, 8, 9.
we'll do that another day. Yes, I'm okay. And then like I was showing you earlier, a tube and fin in there. You can see the, not tube and fin, bar and plate. This is bar and plate, and the one that I had before is tube and fin. Yep, head still at the machine shop, still waiting. Today's the 31st, so happy New Year's. What are your plans for 2023? We're just trying to go fast, so we're working on it.